Whitman's longtime former maid, an illegal immigrant, says Whitman knew she was in the country illegally and was abusive to her. Whitman denies it. She claims she did not know the woman was an illegal immigrant until 2009, and that when she learned the news, she fired the woman immediately. Lawyer Gloria Allred is representing the maid and says she has the smoking gun in the case. But does Allred's evidence actually prove her client? Gloria Allred joins us right now. Gloria, I gotta get, you know I like you, Gloria, but I think this is absolutely unthinkable. Let me tell you what you've done. 3 things. 1, you're getting your client deported by putting a big neon sign, hey, I'm here illegally, I signed documents falsely, and I've done that under penalty of perjury, saying that this is my Social Security number. That's the first thing. The second thing is I think your inferences from this document, the Social Security document, I think you got it all wrong. I actually think it helps Meg Whitman and her husband, because I think that's a more reasonable inference than you get barbecued if you took it to court. And finally, on the eve of an election, to raise something like this, which has the possibility of smearing unfairly, calling someone a liar, and subverting the electoral process. So all 3 things, and you know I like it, but I think all 3 things are rotten. So go ahead, respond.
Well, you've asked 3 things. Which one would you like me to start with?
Take your pick, because I think they're all bad. I don't know which one is the worst. Take your pick. Well, let's talk about the Social Security document, or the document where the Social Security Administration. Start there.
Okay. All right. Here's the heart of it, Greta. 2 days ago, Meg Whitman, when we said that she had noticed that she was possibly hiring or continuing to employ, I should say, an undocumented worker, namely Nikki, my client, the housekeeper in her home. I said that she had received that letter on April 22nd from the Social Security Administration warning her or suggesting to her that there might be a mismatch in the Social Security number, which is usually a clue that you might have an undocumented worker working for you. But what happened was Meg Whitman used the following words in response to what I said, quote, to the Associated Press, "We never received that letter or the notification." And she also denied it to the Los Angeles Times and also denied it to the New York Times. So what I did yesterday was simply show that she did in fact lie, because she said we, meaning her husband, here's the letter. She said we, meaning her husband and herself, never received it. And here it is. It's got her address on it. It's got her name on it. It's got her husband's handwriting on it.
Gloria, this is almost delusional, because, yes, that's what I'm telling you. This is where you get barbecued in court. It has her husband's handwriting on it. Her handwriting is not on it. And it says, Nikki, that's the housekeeper, please check on this. Thanks. That shows that the husband didn't have a clue. That's why you get barbecued in court. This doesn't show Meg Whitman knows it. It shows that her husband was confused by it, turns it over to the housekeeper, and then the housekeeper apparently sits on it because she knows she has this big fat lie.
No, that's not true. Here's where you're wrong, Greta. First of all, Meg Whitman said to the public and the press before I showed this letter, we never received that letter. So she is saying, flatly, denying that her husband ever received it as well.
Gloria,
no, but she lied and said her husband didn't either.
There isn't a single, if this ever went to the jury, and it doesn't go here, there isn't a single
It's not going to court.
Of course not, but I'm just saying, which is another horrible thing to do. So why put it out in the press, and why do this to her, why smear and even call her a liar? But the fact is, it's that she didn't, there's no proof she ever got it.
Well, you know, the lie is
and the husband says, and the husband says he doesn't remember getting this document several years ago. I mean, it's just insane that you assign this knowledge to her.
Greta, she didn't say on Wednesday that they didn't remember getting it. She denied. We never received that letter or notification, is what she said to the Associated Press, the LA Times, the New York Times, and so forth. She was clear. They denied ever receiving it. She didn't know that I had a copy of it with her husband's handwriting. That is the lie. That goes to character.
But the thing is, Gloria, the letter, the thing that doesn't have her handwriting but as her husband doesn't even hurt either one of them. It actually helps her because it says, Nikki, please check on this, because they don't have a clue that your client has lied to them. They've been duped. And now what you've done is you've outed your client, told the world that here we've got this undocumented person in the United States who now under penalty of perjury has lied. You put a big neon sign, come arrest my client, and worse, look what she's done, and she's got kids who were born here in the United States. Now this is blown up huge, and we're on the verge of an election.
Okay, here's two points. One, when he gave it to Nikki and said, Nikki, please check on it, he never asked for it back. And if you look at the form, which I have right here, the government is telling the employer, fill in the information above and return this letter to an enclosed envelope. It's the employer's job to do what the government says.
No,
fill it in
scream about the husband. I don't agree with that. I think your client is responsibility. But for God's sakes, this isn't Meg Whitman. This is her husband. There's a surgeon at Stanford who probably doesn't know anything probably about these documents, be my guess.
And he's a neurosurgeon who somehow can't recall. But Greta, let me just address your other point. Besides the fact that, a multimillionaire somehow doesn't think that when the government says you should do something,
class
you should do
warfare.
it.
That's blackmail. You know what? That's the problem, Gloria. Is you're blackmailing her because she looks like the creep because she's the rich person against the person who's here illegally, who's going to put like a political gun to her head.
That is complete defamation of character, and I'm
It is
shocked
not.
that she
Your
said it.
client lied. Your client lied. Your client's the one who's the liar, not Meg Whitman.
Greta, I'd appreciate if you let me respond. That is very defamatory to accuse my client Fleming of blackmail. She never asked her for any money. As a matter of fact, Meg Whitman didn't even pay her for all the hours that she worked.
What's the purpose of this? Why did you do that? You referred to your client as Rosa Parks because she lied and duped Meg Whitman into thinking that she was legal, and so suddenly she's the Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks was an enormous hero to many people in this country and ought to be. It was not someone who lied on a document and then duped an employer and then outed her on the eve of an election saying that she'd done something wrong and accusing her of having knowledge of something her husband wrote that she didn't either and that was innocent to begin with.
I'll tell you why she's Rosa Parks. She is Rosa Parks, and she is very admired by a lot of people who are Latinos, and others who are not, because everybody appreciates the huge risks that she is taking. And I want you to know that she appreciates those risks too. She understands that these are enormous risks she's taking by speaking out. And I know that a lot of people like you and a lot of people on Fox News Channel would like her to be silenced. And just let Meg...
Gloria, don't you dare do that to me. Now wait a second. Stop that right now, Gloria, because you know I've represented more people than you have in situations in terms of people who need representation. So don't try to pull that stunt on me.
I'm saying to say that she should, that she shouldn't speak out because she's taking a risk somehow that she could be deported. She's chosen to do this, Greta. She's very well aware of all
Gloria, I think she knows all to do this. I don't buy it. I think if this woman knew that she now runs the risk of being deported, and she's now, maybe she made an admission of lying under oath. I don't know. Maybe it's just through you. I don't know. But if she did that, I don't know what you're advising this woman. I never would advise a client of mine, to get involved like this and out yourself, because she's got kids who were born here in the United States, and now she's got this personal mess.
Well, Greta, since you have no idea what the conversations were, because you never heard any of the conversations between my clients and myself, for you to then to conclude that I must have told her that she has to do it,
I didn't say that. I should do it. This would not be my advice to a client.
It's ridiculous.
You know what? My goal is not to hurt the client. My goal is to help the client. Gloria, we got to go.
Well, here's my goal. My goal is to support her in what she wants to do.
Gloria, thank you. Next, pop quiz. What are the three most important midterm elections that could decide everything? Dick Morris tells you next. And did you see what Rush Limbaugh's